Good evening, Tallahassee, and welcome to FSU Weather Friday edition, our second week back here at FSU Weather, and we're excited to bring you the latest on all the tropical and local weather going on. Currently 84 degrees and partly cloudy over Doak Campbell Stadium, but looks like there's quite a bit of sun, not as cloudy as it may lead you to believe. A little bit of a breeze coming through, helping to deal with those higher temperatures that we've had today. Current temperatures seeing high 80s through much of the central area, some lower 80s up north, 92 in Sumatra. They really warmed up down there today, but overall still seeing mid to high 80s through much of our forecast area. As for the tropics, it has definitely started to get a little more active than we see at the beginning of this season. Two areas currently being watched for development. Nothing to worry about right now, but our main focus, Tropical Storm Fiona. Two different tracks that it could take depending on its intensity, and we'll get into that on later in the show. Tonight's headlines: moisture returns to the Big Bend this week. Where is Fiona going? Probably after Shrek. And how do weather balloons use the forecast? All this and more on FSU Weather starting right now.
Good evening, Tallahassee. I am student meteorologist Alejandra Garcia, and happy Friday, everybody. We have a lot of things to get into today. One of the biggest things is, guys, that moisture is going to be returning to Tallahassee. I know we've had a great couple days of this dry, cool air, but sadly we're going to get an easterly flow that's going to bring a lot of that Atlantic moisture in. That is just going to be warming stuff up, making stuff a little bit more muggy outside. And one of the biggest questions we have, where is Fiona going? Maybe to Shrek. But honestly, right now it's currently hitting the Caribbean, which is really, really unfortunate. But it actually could be impacting Florida. Models are not really having a great consensus, and track intensity will depend on if it hits Hispaniola, which that elevation might tear it up or bring it closer to Florida. And finally, everybody, how exactly do weather balloons give us the forecast? We're going to actually show you guys a really cool and educational video that's going to show us a little bit more on how we learn about these things. So yeah, it's just going to be a really jam-packed show. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things, specifically the tropics. It's getting to be kind of a busier season. It's been quite quiet towards this beginning of this hurricane season. So we're going to be seeing a lot more maybe things happening in the Atlantic, hopefully not impacting us here in Tallahassee, hopefully not impacting the peninsula or the United States in general. But yeah, guys, we have a great show for you, and let's pass it off to Robert, who's going to talk to us a little bit about the Southeast.
Thank you, Ale. Yes, right here in the southeast in Tallahassee, it's 84 degrees and partly cloudy. Winds from the east-northeast at 7, so around seasonable conditions we would expect to see here. And if you're going towards the south of the city, 84 as well and partly cloudy. You're going to go outside, maybe go and see a showing of Shrek today. Very nice conditions for that as well. And Panama City, a little bit on the warmer side today, got up to 90 and partly cloudy conditions. Winds from the east-southeast at 8. So overall, sitting in those 80s to 90s, that's where we'd expect it to be here in Tallahassee. That's our average, 89 and 70, only a degree higher on both of those ends. Nowhere close to those records, though. 102 in 1927 must have been rough, along with 56 in 1961, though I would definitely take that ladder there. Few showers and thunderstorms going throughout the Tallahassee region, particularly close to Cross City as well. These are moving out into the Appalachee Bay. Not expected to really be any sort of threat to us here in Tallahassee. Might see a few more showers and storms building into the evening. You'll have to watch out for it, though. Current temperatures wise, going to be sitting roughly in the 80s here. 85 in Donaldsonville, 86 in Quincy, and towards our east, it actually got to 92 in Sumatra. So there it is, a little bit warmer for the rest of us today, but overall, very nice conditions still. I'll take this. What I won't take are these dew points. Sitting in the 60s and 70s, it is seasonable here for us to see it this high, but still, it's muggy and a little bit uncomfortable sitting at 66 and 71, particularly as you get closer to the Gulf Coast where the moisture content is higher. Tonight's forecast is going to be roughly in the 60s to 70s, so nice. Not as cool as it could be, but we'll still take 60s and 70s compared to 80s and 90s for the day. As I said, these storms are going to build a little bit throughout the night, but then decrease as we get towards the 1-2 a.m. hours. Breezy winds from the northeast are going to move throughout the area, maybe a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms as we go throughout the Saturday time frame. This is at 6:05 p.m. here. Few showers near Cross City, maybe a pop-up close to Valdosta, but this placement isn't exactly what we'd expect them to be. They can be anywhere on here, just anywhere you can see a pop-up shower or two. Just keep that in mind. It's not going to be a washout, but might see a storm or two. For the rest of tomorrow, going to be sitting around where we got to today, in the 80s and 90s, Quincy and Tallahassee, St. Mark's 89, 89 in Perry. So overall, very nice conditions tonight. If you're getting out, going to see a Shrek, going to see whatever movie you're looking at, 71 and partly cloudy, winds from the east at 4 miles per hour. And again, it's going to be in the 60s to 70s until we clear this late summer period that we usually see here in Tallahassee. Tomorrow, it's going to be 90 and partly cloudy. So not a lot of clouds building in, but a little bit better than today when we saw the scorching sun on us. Wind from the east-northeast at 9 miles per hour. So overall, again, seasonable conditions. For our 7-day forecast, here, we are seeing 80s and 90s throughout the rest of the 7-day here, and it is going to be throughout the end. Little small rain chances, spotty showers and thunderstorms that might impact your outdoor showing of Shrek. It's going to be a little bit unfortunate, but still 80s and 90s throughout the entire region. Ale?
Thank you so much, Robert. I can see you're really enthusiastic about Shrek. I'm more enthusiastic about these storms that are impacting Florida right now, guys. We have that cold front that just came through on Wednesday, kind of dissipating as the stationary front is really falling apart, and it is rampaging our peninsula, you guys. You can see these isolated showers over the Big Bend area, real strong, really impacting those folks over there. I hope that they are just staying okay, maybe staying inside, maybe curling up with some soup and Shrek. Currently 85 in Pensacola Beach. Look at that beautiful sky, you guys. Really a difference from that Big Bend storm that we were seeing. Maybe you guys should hit the beach, maybe roll out your towel, take a nice tan on the sand. Partly cloudy with some winds from the southeast, 8 miles per hour. The Panhandle radar, like I said, guys, this is just going to be showing you a really unfortunate close-up of these storms impacting the Big Bend on those coastal regions. You might get some, maybe some flooding, you guys. This is heavy rain. Make sure to just keep an eye on that. You even have some out here in the Gulf. But you guys, Daytona Beach, experiencing that same thing. You have these scattered showers, you guys. Definitely a lot warmer there at 83. Maybe, you know, stay inside. It seems like that is a trend for most of Florida. North Florida kind of seeing the same thing. You have these, you know, intense storms towards the Big Bend. We have just a lot of rain and just like cloud cover over Gainesville in these areas. And, you know, maybe just not the best day to be outside, you guys. Fort Lauderdale, we might be seeing some thunderstorms. Actually, it kind of looks like more of a cloudy sky, but, you know, keep an eye on those thunderstorms. Keep an eye on your weather app that might tell you some more information about Fort Lauderdale. But yeah, you have a nice wind from the east-southeast. It is warmer there, especially warmer than it is here in Tallahassee. But just keep an eye out for that. You guys, thunderstorms are no joke. We've been having a lot of lightning strikes recently impacting people. South Florida, they're not a stranger to the rain, and you can see it here, you guys. You have a lot of rain right in the Gulf area. You have these strong storms right near Okeechobee. Keep an eye out for that, you guys, especially in the Everglades where you have already that moisture, that swampy area. You can get some flooding over there. Current temperatures in the Panhandle, the peninsula, getting my P's mixed up. You have actually some really nice temperatures in the low 80s, maybe high 70s. Personally, for me, that means fall is coming, you guys. Unfortunately, it's bringing some showers, but it's quite nice up here in Tallahassee. Look at that, nice sunshine, 85. Current dew points, Florida sticking out like a green thumb as usual, nice and muggy. Tonight in Florida, we're gonna have some more storms in the peninsula, cloudy up in Tallahassee, and that future radar just showing more of that rain. Tomorrow's forecast showing some more rain in the area, but you guys, why don't we talk more about the local forecast, and why doesn't Melissa explain some more of this to us?
Yeah, thanks, Allie. So we're going to actually zoom out to the southeast and take a look at how the system has actually impacted a much larger area around us. So looking across our cameras, Charlotte, North Carolina, seeing some pretty killer skies along with Nashville and New Orleans. Tampa's where we start getting that cloud cover. And again, that's from that front system that just moved through the other day. And we'll get into that here in a second. Here we go. Here's the system that has stalled out. This front did come across completely across the state earlier this week, but that front has since become a stationary front as it's gotten cut off for its energy source and is now falling apart, and that's where we're getting all these disorganized storms from. Thankfully, the high pressure is just far enough south to keep most of these storms out of the Tallahassee area. So that's why we're seeing a lot drier, slightly less humid conditions towards the north part of the southeast. Looking at our current temperatures, still seeing those warm temperatures. Hasn't cooled off quite yet, but we did get a taste of fall the other day. Current temperatures 80s across much of the southeast, seeing some low 80s in the northern part of the southeast, 82 in Tampa, 79 in Orlando, a little bit of a cool spot there, might have a little bit of a sea breeze coming through. Our current wind, this is why part of the reason why we're also seeing those storms. As we're getting some northeasterly flow, it's pulling in moisture from the Atlantic, causing those storms to build up over some of the Florida peninsula, which is going to continue for the next couple days. 36-hour forecast, again, these storms aren't going anywhere anytime soon. As Ale was talking about, you need to make sure you're being careful. So those storms are going to continue over the next 36 hours, continuing cloud cover, but Tallahassee's still seeing little to no rainfall over the course of the coming days. Our megacast, this might be why Fiona's headed this way. Probably thinks that the southeast is Shrek right now. All that green Shrek, it's actually greener than Shrek out there. That megacast is still keeping that humidity pretty well over us. It's not getting down far enough to dry us out a whole lot. For our Charlotte weekend forecast, again, we're seeing those slightly cooler, a lot drier conditions because of that high pressure system sitting further northward. So we are seeing 10% chances of rain all across Charlotte for the weekend, lows in the 60s. So since that air is drier, we are seeing conditions get a lot cooler at night. For that diurnal range can change a lot more. For Nashville, much of the same thing, seeing 10% chance of rain for the entire weekend forecast, lows in the 60s because that drier air is allowing it to get cooler. Our Tampa weekend forecast, on the other hand, again, since it is where that front has fallen apart, seeing rain, 50-60% chance of rain over the weekend. And New Orleans, seeing slightly lower chances, but still, again, since that moisture is around, seeing slightly higher higher chances of precipitation. But we're going to take it off the coast and see if Fiona's actually coming after our green Shrek area.
You know, I really hope not. As a meteorologist, definitely would be interesting to see, you know, a storm. But guys, you know, like everybody knows in Florida, it's really just unfortunate when we get a storm. Fiona right now is staying mostly at a tropical storm right down there. The National Hurricane Center actually issued some looks at these two disturbances up in the Atlantic. They're mostly unorganized. They don't really have a high chance of forming in 24 hours or 48 hours. So they're just really looking at that. But Fiona right here swirling around, currently hitting the Leeward Islands. Really unfortunate for them. I really hope they're staying safe. They're hunkering down. But we're going to get more into that. But currently we're going to be looking at this first disturbance. That 0% chance means 48 hours, you're not really going to be able to see any development into like a tropical depression, a tropical storm, that sort of thing. However, 20% chance for the next 5 days. So the National Hurricane Center is keeping an eye on that. As for this disturbance, you do have a higher chance up here. Definitely looks quite, you know, angry, but it's really just unorganized, not really that big of a threat. The biggest threat we have right now is Fiona, who is quite mad that she has not found Shrek yet. She's swirling around right here in the Leeward Islands. We do have a tropical storm warning, actually right here, a tropical storm watch for the southern Leeward Islands. But currently it's impacting them with some flash flooding, some heavy rain, some strong winds, you guys. It's going to continue up the Caribbean. We do have a tropical storm warning for Puerto Rico, for the Virgin Islands. So you guys, you really got to be careful. It's going to continue going up into the Atlantic. The strength of it is really going to depend on how much it gets torn up over Hispaniola. But guys, we just really hope it doesn't hit Florida. We really hope it'll stay in the Atlantic. But currently, the sea surface temperatures are quite warm. We might see it intensify. We might not. It might hit Florida. There's a lot of uncertainty about that track. But Robert, why don't we talk about some more exciting things like our local weather?
Right, thanks, LA. Let's take things back locally where we do have a chance of a few showers and thunderstorms. Right now, 84 degrees and partly cloudy. Those winds a little bit gusty, east-northeast at 7. So you will need to hold on to your hats across the Tallahassee region. If you're going out to the IM fields for sportsplex, a little bit sunny if you're going towards the beach in Panama City, maybe spending your weekend there. St. George, also sunny as well. And going towards Lake Bradford, still sunny and nice conditions. We're going to be sitting roughly in the 80s this weekend. So if you are planning on getting out, this weekend is definitely the weekend to do so. Local radar-wise, we're mostly clear here in the immediate Tallahassee metro, but if you look towards the eastern areas, closer to Dowling Park and Cross City, we do have a few showers and thunderstorms. They are going to be persisting throughout the evening here, and we're expecting these showers that could build possibly into the Tallahassee area. For our current temperatures, it's sitting around the 80s. It's cooling off a little bit. We saw 92 here in Sumatra at the beginning of our show, now down to 88. So we will take that decrease here. Very, very nice, and we'll see it continuing to decrease throughout the night, seeing 80s for the rest of the area, 88 in Tallahassee, and 87 in St. Mark's. For this forecast, as I said, things will cool down, and here they are. 69 in Quincy, 71 in Tallahassee, 69 in Madison, but we are seeing this chance over in our eastern sector, Monticello, Madison, and Perry, where we have a chance of a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. If you're planning on stargazing, if you don't have a thunderstorm in the area, viewing conditions are going to be good, but poor conditions for those who are having cloud cover and showers and thunderstorms. Sunset at 7:42, sunrise at 7:22, and 99% full moon, so we're almost all the way there. Future radar-wise, showers and thunderstorms continuing to build in this eastern sector here, just east of the city, but basically almost as to get to Tallahassee, they completely dry out, and we're not really going to see anything here until much later in our forecast. Again, pop-up showers and thunderstorms can really be anywhere. This is just a modeling of one way our model sees it. They can be, they're very low in coverage, and we might see one or two, so don't take this as completely 100% what's going to happen. But just plan for it on Saturday. If you're doing anything outside, you could see a pop-up shower or thunderstorm in the area. 90s and 89 going to be ruling the region tomorrow. So still going to feel warm, still going to have a chance of those muggier conditions, and airport delays are going to be fairly low here at Tallahassee because we're not seeing that much interesting weather quite yet in here. It's just going to be staying muggy, cloudless, and in the 90s here. 10% chances throughout the rest of the week, and then 20% on Thursday and Friday. And then, of course, we do see a little bit of a warm-up towards Tuesday through Friday where we get up to 92. Ale?
Thanks so much, Robert. Actually, luckily enough, we don't really have to worry about a lot of our local weather because men's golf currently is in Illinois.
Hi, FSU. This is Aaron Saray here, and I'm here at the National Weather Service in Tampa Bay, Florida. I'm here joined with Austin Flannery here, and today we'll kind of be going over an educational segment on kind of what the weather balloon is and what it's actually for. So, Austin, what is the purpose of the weather balloon?
Well, the weather balloon is a really fascinating meteorological tool. It's actually one of our oldest ways of collecting information about what's happening in the atmosphere. These balloons have been launched since well before we had the capabilities that we have today, like radar and other observational tools. The balloon gives us a snapshot of the atmosphere in the three-dimensional sense, both a sense of the vertical and the horizontal, and it allows us to take a picture of what's going on, to understand, is the atmosphere favorable for thunderstorms? Is the atmosphere favorable for it to be dry? How strong could thunderstorms be if we're expecting that? This, in Florida, that's certainly one of our big concerns, and especially in the summer months, are thunderstorms. So the balloon data gives us a snapshot of what that looks like, and anything that might be there that could be concerning for the potential for thunderstorms to potentially be a little bit stronger even than what they would normally be.
I see. And how important are these weather balloons in terms of weather observation and what we use for computer models?
They are important. They play a big role in that. There are over 90 locations just in the United States alone that launch weather balloons on a regular basis, usually at least twice a day. And these balloons are launched all at a synchronous time. Everybody, whether you're in California or Florida or New York or the Midwest, everybody launches the balloons at the exact same time every single day. And that's so that data can be incorporated into weather models to be able to have a better sense of what's going on. Weather balloons are just one tool that we use, but the data they provide is extremely important. So that's why we do it the way we do. And one of the things that can also be done in some instances, if we're talking about the potential for severe weather or a hurricane, for instance, we'll launch extra weather balloons. And we'll do that to provide extra data for those supplemental times that models run. So the GFS, the Global Forecast System, right, the big times are 0 and 12Z. Well, they also run a 6Z and an 18Z run. So us launching extra weather balloons can actually improve the forecast sometimes in the event of more significant weather.
Sounds great, Austin. And of course, weather balloon is a pretty simple technology. Of course, it consists of a radio sonde, a parachute, and the balloon itself. But though it's simple, it is very crucial of course, to actually use in forecast best of the weather. So we'll take you back inside and we'll actually look at a sounding once we launch this weather balloon. Here is a time-lapse video of Austin filling up the weather balloon with hydrogen. Hydrogen is flammable, so making sure you actually take the necessary precautions when handling this balloon is, of course, necessary to be safe and successful. Now, Tampa uses hydrogen. However, Tallahassee actually uses helium, which is actually more expensive than hydrogen, but it's also safer. So there are trade-offs with the gases. Here I am with a now filled up weather balloon ready to launch in a few seconds. So right now I'm actually positioning myself to make sure I don't hit any nearby objects or buildings, with the weather shelter behind me there and the weather service office being behind the camera. So as I get into position, I will gently release the weather balloon here, and the weather balloon will actually pick up the radio sonde from my hand as it launches up into the air. So this balloon will actually expand to the size of a 2-story house before popping above 20 miles above the surface of the Earth. So that's pretty impressive for a balloon. But we'll head back inside to look at the data it will now begin to transmit. So this is our weather balloon sounding. You can see we have temperature off in the blue and dew point in the orange here, and it is being plotted with temperature along the x-axis and pressure on the y-axis. And from here you can extrapolate features such as relative humidity and other features like that. And of course this helps with different layers in the atmosphere and actually sampling a 3D layer in the atmosphere, of course, and this helps determine the environment for thunderstorms or other weather features, or even snow as well in places further up north. But of course, all this data gets input into computer models, to which supercomputers kind of crunch all the data and run the model data. So even though it is, as I mentioned outside, simple technology, it is very crucial for our weather here in Florida and for much of the country. So for FSU Weather, this is student meteorologist Aaron Saray.
The next one's tighter than the last.
Guys, I'm back. Men's golf in Illinois, we're still on that, still important. We are going to be seeing some really nice temperatures, 64 there, definitely cooler than we've been seeing here in Florida. It's going to be warming up around 83 towards the end, definitely typical Florida. You're going to be maybe feeling some more fall there, which is quite nice. You have this nice southerly flow coming in to the Chicago area. You're going to be seeing a lot of cloud cover, a lot of moisture, some scattered showers you might be seeing. But, you know, nothing like those typical Florida thunderstorms that we see every single afternoon. Women's volleyball, FSU versus University of, I think that's Alabama, Birmingham. It's going to be quite warm, cooling down towards the evening, but I don't really know if that will matter because I'm pretty sure you're going to be inside a Tully gym cheering on our Noles. This rain definitely going to be persisting. You're going to be getting that flow from the Atlantic, as Melissa was talking about, bringing in a lot of that moisture. But hopefully none that will impact our volleyball game. Tonight, guys, you know, absolutely go and support your Noles. Drive to Kentucky right now. And the kickoff is at 7:30. You guys still have a chance. 81, it's going to cool down to 70. I don't know about you guys, but I love that cooler weather. Definitely makes me want to bundle up, be nice and big like Shrek. I don't know, really nice and toasty. Louisville, seeing a lot of cloud cover, seeing, again, that southerly flow that's going to be bringing in some of that moisture. But really, it's just going to be a pleasant night to go cheer on your Noles. Hopefully, we win against those Cardinals. Not a lot of scattered showers, but really just a nice evening to support your local sports teams. But why don't we pass things off to Melissa, who's going to talk to us about maybe what we can expect this weekend.
That's right, Allie. So it's Friday night. It is time to get your Shrek on. So we're going to take a look at what to expect this weekend, whether you're going somewhere or staying here in town. Local radar, some storms coming through to the south, but not looking to affect Tallahassee, so good conditions for our area for the rest of the night. So for our future radar, maybe a couple storms trying to bring a little bit of precipitation into the area, but for the most part, a very clear night, northeasterly flow coming in throughout the weekend till Saturday. But for our overnight forecast, 79 degrees tonight, 75 at 11, and 74 at 2 a.m. And it's a little bit drier than we've had. So if you're one of my native Floridians, we don't like the cold. You might want to grab a jacket on your way out because I know I will be freezing to death. As for your walking your dog, 72 at 7 a.m., 74 at 9 a.m., and 81 at 11 a.m. tomorrow. So again, a bit cooler, so if you don't like those cold conditions like me, make sure you walk your dog a little bit later if you can. But overall, some nice conditions going into the next day. Saturday drive cast, 9 a.m., 74, seeing clear skies, warming up to 87 by 3 p.m. So may want to turn your AC up in the afternoon, but you might need your heat in the morning if you don't like the cold. For airport delays, seeing some nice conditions, some green colors, the color of Shrek as our airport delays. So we are seeing no airport delays, cloudy with no delays, some nice conditions if you're flying out. And we're seeing that across pretty much the entire area. Tallahassee, green like Shrek. Atlanta, green like Shrek. Dallas and Fort Worth, green like Shrek. So we're seeing great conditions if you're planning on flying out. Again, this weekend should be pretty good whether you're staying here or going out to somewhere else, going home to see some family. But we're going to turn it over to Robert to see what else is on for this weekend when you're getting your Shrek on.
Right, and she definitely does like that Shrek because it is the best movie overall, and I can say Shrek 1 is my favorite of the Shreks. Best movie made out of the Shrek franchise. But as we look towards our Lake Chapman cleanup here, going to be tomorrow, make sure to come out and show up. We're going to have a great time there cleaning up. It's going to be a little bit dirty out there like Shrek's Swamp is, but September 17th, going to be nice, and we might have some nice festivities out there, so make sure you do get out and show up. Again, future radar, this green all over the area, green like Shrek, as Melissa aptly put it. It is going to be very nice though once things clear out and going to be a lot drier than Shrek's Swamp. Going to see maybe a scattered shower or thunderstorm here at 6:27 p.m. This placement not entirely what we're expecting to see. It could be anywhere within the Tallahassee area, but overall just expect maybe a spotty shower or two, not a washout on our future radar. Weekend forecast, if you are planning to go out and see the best movie of the century, Shrek, Saturday and Sunday going to be nice conditions for that 90s out there. Going to be 20 and 10% though. These chances do decrease throughout the week, Monday and Tuesday, but we have a warm-up, 91 and 94, and with those muggy conditions, that's going to really feel like Shrek's Swamp right there. Going to be very, very hard to get through, and these conditions going to be nice in the morning, though. If you want to walk your dog, get out 71, 70, and 68 for our weekend forecast here. We do also have another cleanup in Destin, though. 78, 80, and 81 if you're getting out September 17th for this Destin cleanup. I would say please come out to our AMS one, but if you don't like us, then go out to the Destin one. It is going to be nice to each other, so I don't entirely blame you for going there. It's going to be nice, 78, 80, and 81, and cleaning up, again, very important as Shrek has demonstrated in his movie because, you know, dirty swamps, not exactly what we're looking out for, but on our future radar, not a lot of green, not a lot of that Shrek color out there. It is going to be very nice, though, as these easterly winds come in and make things a lot drier until Saturday. Another chance at scattered showers and thunderstorms there, and this weekend forecast going to be a little bit cooler. You're seeing 87 on Saturday, 90, 91, 92, so warm up there, and you're going to have to keep that in mind. Finally, Florida Fin Fest in Jacksonville Beach, 77, 84, and 80, so these conditions are going to be a little bit cooler, a little bit less muggy, a little bit less swampy, a little bit less Shreky than you've seen in our other two cities here, but we do have these scattered showers and thunderstorms in Jacksonville as well. You're going to want to keep that in mind as we keep going throughout the weekend. Scattered showers and thunderstorms still a threat here, and finally in our weekend forecast going to be in the 80s here. So follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/FSU weather, and we are going to post updates there as well as on our Facebook, facebook.com/FSU weather, and we are going to be socially as active as much as possible on YouTube. That's where we are streaming right now, youtube.com/FSU weather, and finally follow us on Instagram where we have some cool Shrek pics at FSU weather on that Instagram right there. Finally, here is our forecast here, 87 degrees, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, sitting in the 90s here, a little bit of a cool down as we get towards the Sunday period, but Monday getting that muggy, those Shrekier conditions. They're going to not be very fun for us, but again, 70s all throughout the end of the week. Thank you for joining us on this Friday edition. Happy Shrek Day.